Welcome to Comedy Sandbox, episode 3 of season 3. Woo! So many fireworks everywhere. I'm here with my very funny friends.
John Fairbanks.
Hannah Norton Kirkeiner. Still don't know which name to call myself. It's been like a year and a half. Hannah Norton. We'll go Hannah Norton.
Because you got married.
Yes.
And now you don't know what to call yourself.
Full identity crisis.
Is that a... Actually, I know that's a thing with some actors. Was that like a really big deal for you, though? It's like, what name? Like, because you don't know what to go by right now, is what you say.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I like to imagine I have fans who know me as Hannah Norton, so I didn't want to, like, rock their world by changing it, but I feel like it doesn't actually matter at this point for me.
Yeah, because...
Well, and the last names are so different. That...
Yes. One is German, and one is not.
Yeah.
What's the other one? What's Norton?
Oh,
just
I don't
white?
know. Just
Yeah,
white.
I'm just white.
Just Midwestern.
Could you imagine if Cameron Diaz was like all of a sudden like, now she's Cameron Smith?
Yeah.
Or Cameron from Growing Pains. Oh, Kirkeiner. Never mind. That's actually closer to your name then. Okay. She's Kirkeiner. Her first name changed instead. All right. So we're here with funny improv comedians. We're going to be talking about a bunch of different things in comedy. So be sure to like, subscribe, share, tell all your friends about it. It's super fun. We just shoot the breeze. If you have questions that you want to ask or you want us to do in future segments, go ahead and comment them below and we'll get to it later. If you want to comment on them, that's fine. They can take it.
Yeah.
Be real mean. Just really dig in there because we don't have feelings.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm already self-aware, so...
Yeah. We can barely look ourselves in the mirror every day. Just to get us to know you a little bit, tell me who y'all think are the funniest people. Either you know or people that you draw inspiration from. It's like, man, they're so funny. They get my funny bone. Or people that like you can't even attempt to try and match.
So I'm really into television.
Are you?
Really into television.
How long has this been going on?
For a very long time.
Is it serious?
I own, I want to say, between 500 and 600 seasons of television on DVD.
For a second, I thought you were about to say 500, like, TVs.
Yeah.
I was expecting a lot of TVs, like a Scrooge McDuck vault that you dive into, and
Your
you swim
home
in
is just a
TVs.
sports bar. You have like a football game over here.
Every channel's different.
And so, because I been really into TV and really into different comedies, the one comedy I would say is above all of the rest is Mr. Show.
I've never even heard of that.
Mr. Show.
Yeah.
This is what you get when you talk to people who are really into TV. How obscure is this?
It was a HBO sketch comedy show in the late 90s that starred Bob Odenkirk and David Cross.
So not only is it part of a network that you have to pay to get into,
Yes.
and none of us were able to access that when in the 90s.
Yes.
Because we were not 18 years old. Mm-hmm. It was on HBO, and it was in the 90s, which was a time of NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. I actually don't even know what was pop culture in the 90s.
I was a very small child then.
Yeah,
There was no
I
Disney
should probably
Channel.
educate
There was
myself.
Disney Channel.
I was in high school from 97 to 01. And so...
That was your decade.
That was my prime time. So you would know David Cross from Arrested Development.
Okay.
He's Tobias in Arrested Development, and then you'd know Bob Odenkirk from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
Okay.
And then it had a whole bunch of comedians on it that are pretty well known now: Sarah Silverman, Brian Posehn.
Bob Odenkirk and David Cross? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're doing another show on Netflix.
Yeah, so it's called Bob and David, and it's basically just Mr. Show Part 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they resurrected that show and brought it back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the band Tenacious D came from Mr. Show.
What?
Wait, really?
Yeah, so they... so Jack Black and Kyle Gass were on the show originally, and they did a bit where Jack Black played Jesus, and they did a whole song about him being Jesus. And that spun off into their own HBO television show. So Tenacious D has an HBO television show that's 6 episodes long that I also have the DVD of.
What?
Oh my
HBO, where TV shows are born and die.
And so then after that, they put out their album that became super popular.
Okay.
So pretty much all of the songs on their first album are from the TV show.
Was that what got Jack Black famous? Mm-hmm. That show? Yeah. Was that his first step? Because I know he did Never Ending Story too, and had a really weird part in that. But that's cool. I had no idea. Mr. Show? Check that out.
And then probably my other favorite television show is a British show called Coupling. So it's a early 2000s.
So Bob Odenkirk and David Cross, though, like those are guys that you think are really funny.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get back to the question. It was like you were just telling us about TV and
I could literally talk about TV for hours. But yeah, so those were sort of the start of my finding comedy to really be.
Those are good guys. Brand. They've been involved for a long time. Like, really long time. And after you say that HBO thing, I'm like, wow, even longer than I originally thought.
They do a particular bit that we could maybe link to, but it's my favorite bit of all time. It's East Coast versus West Coast ventriloquists. So it's taking off of the East Coast versus West Coast rap scene, but putting it into ventriloquists. And that there are a lot of ventriloquist murders because of the beef between East Coast and West Coast.
Okay.
Tom Kenny from SpongeBob also came from Mr. Show.
Is that the voice of SpongeBob? Cool.
Yeah, so it's fun to watch the guy that everyone knows as SpongeBob playing a Satanist on a Satan television show. Like, he does a bit about being a Satanist, and he brings on David Cross playing a guy that is consumed by sloth.
All right.
This is why he's funnier than all of us, because he has access to all these secret comedy shows.
No, this is why he's stranger than all of us.
No, it's why I will regularly be on stage and suddenly think about doing a Darren Aronofsky joke and realizing that nobody in the room is going to understand it.
Who?
But my brain. He was the director of Black Swan. Starting that.
I still didn't see that movie.
Right?
Everyone talks so good about it. It's like, oh, Natalie Portman, Mila Kunis. Like, I don't care. It's ballet. That's not fun. Anyways, what about you, Hannah? Who's the funniest people that you know? Or don't know.
I wish I knew him, but Andy Samberg, I think, is the funniest person to ever live. And I don't know, I feel like not everyone loves his stuff, because it's like, I don't know, I was watching what's it called? The Shooter, or like the Dear Sister, that SNL sketch. Have you seen that one?
Dear Sister?
Oh, like they're all
he's writing a letter.
And then
it's the OC bit, right? They're making fun of the OC?
I don't know. I just know it's really funny.
So, it's the what you say.
Yeah.
They're making fun of the OC in that. But it is really funny.
Adds
I know exactly what you mean.
To it. But just like, he's so good at like the humor where you just like do the same thing over and over and it shouldn't be funny anymore, but it still is. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I appreciate it.
I think Andy Samberg's kind of like the new Will Ferrell. I think his comedy is that yes and he's always so positive in everything he does, even if it's just like a terrible thing. Like, it's still just like, yep. Yeah, no, this is this is bad. We're all going to hell. Like, it's just, he's just so happy about everything. I think that's what the people who do like him, I think that's what they really like about him.
Yeah. Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, yeah.
TV.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Have you watched the new season?
I'm watching it right now, yeah.
I'm waiting for it to like all come out, and then like I'll sit down and watch it for like a week. Yeah. I can't do the week-to-week thing anymore. It's going to be the same thing with Game of Thrones, too. Like, the new season's going to come out. I'm not going to, like, listen to anyone talk about it. And then I'm just going to wait, and then I'll do the new email thing. And then get the free trial for HBO. So, how many seasons? They have 7?
They're on their 9th season.
Okay. So, I got through 8 seasons of Game of Thrones in, like, 2.5 weeks.
Oh my gosh. And they're like long episodes, right?
They are long.
Yeah,
they're so
they're
long.
long episodes.
It's like 50 minutes and like hour here. It was but I did it. It was good. The first few episodes were really hard.
Yep.
Because watching rape is really hard.
Mm-hmm.
I've never watched it.
So continuing on with comedy. So you guys do improv. You do it at Comedy Sports Utah.
Yeah.
ComedySportsUtah.com. Check it out every Friday and Saturday, 7:30 and 9:30 p.m. And Thursdays at 8 p.m. Only $5. Kurt and Tanya owe me now. You owe me like, we'll say like 100 for that plug. When you do an improv scene, you get a suggestion from the audience, and the audience goes up there, and they could say something like jailhouse or pineapple. Why does everyone yells pineapple?
Do they?
Maybe they're all Psych fans.
Maybe they're Psych fans, maybe they're SpongeBob fans, but everyone yells out pineapple. Like pineapple gets yelled out, Jello gets yelled out.
Yeah, I think it's cute how original everyone thinks that their suggestions are.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I hear that every night. Underwater basket weaving.
Yeah, give us a sport. Curling. It's like, yeah, you're real original, dude. If you're sitting in an improv or like if you're in a improv show and you're in the audience, here's everything that you should not yell out. Don't yell out pineapple, curling, underwater basket weaving, Elvis, Jello. What else?
I think we get Justin Bieber pretty much every time.
Yeah, Justin Bieber, Trump, Kim Kardashian,
Titanic.
Have you asked for like movie suggestions?
I came up with a new Titanic the other day.
Yeah, I feel like I come up with one like every week. Yeah. Why is that movie so easy to make up like deleted scenes
It's just
for?
a giant boat that crashes into an iceberg, and for
It's
some
it.
reason there's so much in it.
And it broke world records. James Cameron, never mind. I don't know how he does it. Yeah. Yeah, don't yell those things out. It's not as fun as you think it is to do those.
And we do ref treats now for good suggestions, which
Yeah.
I think is smart.
Ref treats?
Oh, is that not what we call it here? I started Comedy Sports in Indianapolis, and they do things like a little bit different. Like it's a franchise, but
every Comedy Sports does things different. We do it the best, and everyone else tries to copy us.
That's true.
No. And so they have like on the wall, they have like a board of like all the like basic suggestions that we don't want to hear. And so if like you say one of those, you get kind of called out. And then if you do a good one, we have like, I think it was like a toilet bowl full of like Laffy Taffies, and you get a ref treat. Like, it was like a good original suggestion.
Reach into the toilet bowl and pull out a Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, I know that, I think I first saw Trenton Krumknocker do it, but he did he would say the best suggestion will get something at the concessions on me at the end of the night, and that sort of thing.
Yeah. We need to get better at it. We wanted to do it, and we remember it every once in a while, but not all the time. But we say best suggestion of the night, and we give that person a free ticket to the next show. Yep. But they only get one. Unless they're a loner, we're always going to get someone else. Yes. But it's okay. Our super fan, Nate, I don't know if I... Yeah.
How do I not know about Nate?
You know him.
You do. Yeah,
you know him.
You'll recognize him.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He always comes to our shows. He's got a deep voice. I used him as an audience volunteer one night. I had no idea he was foreign. And so we were doing Hey Waiter, and when we tap him on the shoulder, whenever we tap you on the shoulder, you're supposed to say, Hey Waiter, there's a blank in my soup. We get the blank from the audience. And then we make up a pun based on that. When I tapped him on the shoulder, Hey Waiter, there's a fly in my soup. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but leave the funny to us. Just do it in a normal voice. And he's like, that is my normal voice. And I was like, oh, okay. Movie, give me some batteries. I heard batteries in the junk. Tweet. All right, let's go. And then we did. But yeah, I had no idea he was foreign. He had yep.
Yeah, it's a little weird when you start doing a lot of shows and seeing repeat people, because I sort of feel like you just don't get repeats, but I mean,
it's cool to get him. Like this guy, like I recognize, like very familiar. Like he came to at least 20 of our shows last year. Mm-hmm. At least 20.
That's sweet.
And now, like, when he comes in, like, next time he comes in, because I know he's going to come in sometime, and we're going to be like, hey, Nate, come here. We're going to give you a secret code and stuff. Be our Superman forever.
Yeah.
Feel like he's earned it. We'll make him, like, get a tattoo or something.
Yeah,
No?
once you hit 20 shows in a year, that's...
That's like half the year.
Yeah.
So, back to the original question. How do you approach an improv scene? We get a suggestion from the audience. Shout it out.
So I do that same sort of thing that we just did when you said pineapple, and you say, where do they come from? And I immediately start thinking of the different pineapple references. So I thought of Psych, I thought of SpongeBob, or oftentimes I will just... A pineapple is usually in a kitchen, so I'll start in a kitchen. Or something like that. Like it's some sort of...
So you think of things that are related around the pineapple, and then just whatever references that come to mind for it, and then you start building it out from there?
Yeah. I've always been a very physical improviser, and so I'll often try and think of how the physicality comes from the suggestion. So like in a jail, I'll think about the different positions I can be in, like JR will definitely notice this.
I'm a physical person. I'm in a jail. And what position is that?
No, that's right. I was thinking all the same things. But it wasn't me. It was Hannah.
It was Hannah.
Hannah had the naughty mind.
Sorry.
Hannah tends to have the naughty mind.
Don't.
You do.
So innocent.
You walk into so many jokes.
I think that it's because I'm too naive. I think I don't mean to do things, and then everyone's like laughing and like, ooh, and I'm like, what did I say? What does that mean?
You're like, what did I say this time? What did I do? You and Alan Mount both walk into so many just horrible innuendos, and it's
probably done way more than I even realized.
It's so funny. And it's so bad because sometimes we'll get that one audience member who handwrites us a letter and says, the girl was talking about peeing her pants on stage.
that was on purpose. I didn't
the suggestion was peeing your pants.
Yeah. And I wasn't peeing my pants. My dog had a bladder
infection. I don't know.
You can't remember a detail of a scene after you're done with it.
Especially like months after, a year after.
But I'll never forget that one. Handwritten letter about how disgusting I am.
Have I gotten any handwritten letters?
No, that was the only handwritten letter. It wasn't a praise. It wasn't a praise. It was just, it was just, some people do not take to it well.
Family friendly in Utah.
Yeah.
Maybe a different level when people come into it expecting something.
I think like family friendly in Utah is a thing, but I feel like people feel comfortable to laugh at more things out here.
Yeah.
Or other comedy sports are way too scared to do other jokes. Like for example, doing a Chinese accent on stage. No other comedy sports I know will attempt it because they feel it's too racist. And I'm thinking, why can't we do a Chinese accent? Because as long as you don't make fun of the race, everything...
How is it different than Australian?
Yeah, how's it different from Australian, Southern...
It's just different letter substitutions.
Boston, yeah, you just do the scene in that accent, and everything should be fine. You can't be up there and do, all the stereotype things, that then it's racist. Yeah. But anyways, yeah. If you can get the Utah crowd, though, you can get any crowd.
Yeah. But yeah, JR will attest to this, but my go-to for years was, and still is, the lie on the ground.
You just lay down to start your scene.
To start a scene, because it's...
Yeah. It's something that every comedy sports player has to deal with now, and we have to justify... All right, John's quit on this scene. Hasn't even started yet, and this is what he's offering.
There's a lot of fun in yelling at the ground and just sort of seeing that, the depression that can come. Some people will see that, I've just been broken up with, so I'm lying on the ground with my face just planted against the ground. And
you're depressed. Yeah. No, it's a strong emotion. Strong Strong take. Yeah.
And so it's that sort of thing. I tend to try and think of a physical way to start, and then I can lead in from there.
What about you?
I always try to think of.
If I say jungle, how do you approach it?
Oh, well, what I was gonna say was not about jungle. I try to think about like the relationship that I'm gonna have with other people. Like I know that I'll be able to work in the suggestion, so I don't want to like. My very first thing is like, here we are in the jungle. Like, I feel like that's just like trying to like get rid of and like use a suggestion as fast as you can. I think it's more fun to like bring it up later and they're like, oh, hey, that's what we said.
Oh,
you know?
I remember.
Yeah. So I try to think of like the relationships that I want to have, because when you're doing a scene, it should be about the relationships with like the people, not necessarily about like the thing or the thing you're doing. So I feel like as long as you establish like your relationships first and then like add like a twist or a hiccup in the relationship, then you have something to play with.
The big day, the tilt.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know about these things, you should read a book called Truth in Comedy. It talks about all about that. Relationship. You wrote it? Yeah. By Del Close, everyone. Del Close.
It's one of my other names. Hannah, Norton, Kirkeiner, maybe also Del Close.
Yeah, maybe also not Del Close.
One of my favorite scenes that I've ever done is one that I did with Hannah. And it was one that we did. It was one that we did during practice. You'll pretty much instantly remember. But we were both in the kitchen, and we were just miming things, doing different kitchen stuff, and neither of us were talking. Like, I think at some point we were sort of daring each other to be the first one to initiate. Yeah. And we just wouldn't. And we were just like, okay, you do it. Okay, you do it. And we just wouldn't. And it just sort of became this, like, just a very still boiling over. And the point of the game was that you would end up, I don't remember what it was called, but you would switch the scene between different people, and then the second time around, someone would die.
Oh, Death Pendulum.
Death Pendulum.
I love that game, and no one will play it with me.
So, our first scene, we said nothing. And so then, when we went, I suddenly realized what I could do with it, and when we came in the second time, I just suddenly said, "This silence is killing me," and fell to the floor.
Okay, I do remember this now. Yeah, no, that's so awesome. Because silence can be like one of the greatest tools, like in, I don't know, like comedy and improvisers, you're always like, I have to talk, I have to say the funny thing, but you can have an amazing scene without talking.
That's why I tend to think of doing something physical, because the audience, it was just a bunch of improvisers, but the audience could tell what we were doing and could still follow the scene even though we hadn't said anything yet.
Yeah, silence has that thing, though, of just drawing you in. Like, they do it in horror movies all the time. Mystery, suspense, use that silence and it just creates tension. And most people aren't comfortable in tension. Yeah. They sit there and they're like, someone break it, but they don't want to break it. They don't want to be that person to do it. Yep. So it's fun when improvisers latch onto that and create that atmosphere.
Well, and then if you add on top of it, like, super good pantomime, like, that's so fun. If you, like, establish, like, little things, like, in your room or something, like, there's a table there and you, like, make a point to walk around it and not walk through it. Like, you actually create this, like, reality that the audience can see. It's so fun.
Yeah, I was doing a heckler battle the other day, and it was, I was doing stuff in the kitchen, and the person that I was talking to sort of walks over and is in front of the fridge, and I'm thinking, I need to get something out of the fridge because I'm making food.
You're always making food in the kitchen.
And so
What else would you make in the kitchen, Hannah? What else? What else do you make in the kitchen?
I've made one-man musicals in the kitchen. That's about it.
Okay, you just put a period after that. We'll get back to your one-man musical in a second.
So I realized the person was there, and I had sort of already created the scene, and so I just, while we're talking, I just sort of pushed them aside and then opened the fridge. Got this huge laugh just because of that simple motion of, you're in the way of the fridge, I need to get in here. Like, not breaking the reality that I had put together.
That's important. That is a rookie improv mistake, is breaking the scene work that you build up.
When you make a car right in the middle of the stage and then someone walks right through it and you're like,
oh, I just died a little. Just died a little inside. Really hope that person dies in the scene. I'm just pull out a gun right now and kill him. You ruined everything.
Michael Scarn.
Michael Sky. What was this one-man musical?
Oh, this is like a daily thing for me.
Wait, you do a daily one-man musical in your kitchen?
You practice musical improv while you're in the kitchen.
Yeah, just like if you're like home alone, not even home alone. I think that my husband.
So wait, did you refer to yourself as a man? Did you assume your gender?
It's a gender-neutral vocabulary term.
That is not a gender-neutral vocabulary term.
Okay, I star as a man in all of these musicals.
Okay.
What about that?
I'll take
a
that.
good justification?
I'll take that, yeah, sure.
I don't think I've ever established a gender in one of them. No, but just like to practice musical improv.
So you practice musical improv in the kitchen.
I just sing and make musicals all day, and I think it's so fun.
Regular Stephen Sondheim up in there.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Stephen Sondheim is?
Oh, no.
He's a musical person.
Yeah.
Wait, at the start, other night before the podcast even started, John said, I saved a baby.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my gosh, tell me more. And I was like, wait, no. Don't tell me anything. Save it for the podcast.
I need to
And I
know.
just remembered. Tell us the story about how you saved a baby on your way over.
All right. So we were going to start this at 6:30.
Uh-huh.
And I am a regular player of Pokemon Go. So in Pokemon Go, you have raids that you can do, but they only last up until 7 p.m. So they go from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And you can do one a day, and then you can get different passes, so on and so forth. So I planned a little bit more time. I left my house about 45 minutes early, knowing that I could go do a raid and then come to your house. So there's a local group that puts up times in which different people are meeting together to do these raids of particular big Pokemon. And someone had said a park that was maybe, I want to say 12 to 13 blocks from my house. So I drive out to that park, and as I get there, I see that the person had actually stayed at a different place and that I had missed it. So I'm just sort of sitting there. I'm trying to think of a different place to go. And I'm driving up just a little bit, maybe going a mile or two per hour. Toddler just walks right across the street by himself, just as if he does it every day.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a nightmare to me.
It's a 1-year-old, has a binky in its mouth. Yeah. Like,
wait, 1-year-old walking? Or
I don't know. I don't know baby ages, but it's
one's real small.
It's
regardless, very small kid.
Very
3 years
child.
old is like toddler.
Yeah, has a binky in its mouth, clearly doesn't speak. And just walks across the street, like sort of stops in the middle of the road as it's looking at me, and I'm like,
Is anyone else?
Yeah.
No, anyone else?
I look around and there's nobody else here.
Oh my gosh.
And so I just sort of pull over and I get out and I'm like, I'm looking around to try and see if any houses have open doors, and I don't see any houses with open doors.
You're about to be left with a baby all by yourself.
Yeah, and believe me, I get it. I am this giant man, big beard, curly hair, with a small blonde child.
Yeah, you're
I understand the optics.
John's like 6'3", 6'4"?
6'6".
I was way up. You all look the same
Over
height after
300 pounds, giant man.
Looks like that.
Yeah. Tiny baby, blonde hair. The optics of it.
Yeah.
Of me picking up a child with my car right next to it. I get it.
Yeah. that is oh my, I didn't even think about that.
Scary.
Your car's running right next to it.
Yes.
Like, you pick up this kid. What are they going to think?
Exactly.
Wait, there's a show that does like a bit with that. It's like this little blonde girl's like in an elevator when the doors open, and the black man's like, I'm not
Yeah.
What show is that?
I don't know. That's funny though.
Funny.
But yeah, so I know that this kid, his parents don't know where he is.
Obviously.
They don't know that he's
Or maybe
missing.
they do, and they're like,
And so I can't just leave him there because it's a road.
Yeah.
There are other cars that will drive down. They might not see him. So I get out and I just sort of stand next to him, sort of in the road. I sort of usher him onto the sidewalk. He just sort of sits there and just looks up at me. And I'm just standing there. I start yelling, hello, hello, trying to see if anyone's around. Nobody comes out.
Oh my gosh.
And that's why we have a toddler today.
Yep, this is little John. Hey, little John.
Yeah.
So bitch.
So I was standing there for about 3 minutes. Like, I didn't want to pick up the child and start ringing on different doorbells and being like,
oh my
child
gosh.
back. There's so many optics in this.
However, that would have been hilarious. Okay, I know the reality of the situation is serious.
Yeah.
But had you taken this kid, rang on every single door on that street, like, is this your baby?
Yeah.
They're like, no? Okay, have a nice day. And you just walk away and go to the next door over.
Yeah. So I'm
gosh.
freaking out. The kid is just fine, just absolutely in his own world, just happy as can be. And so I'm just standing there, and I mean, a truck passes, and I like wave at the guy, and he just sort of waves back, and I'm like, okay, he doesn't recognize the child, so not his. And,
oh my gosh. Parents, this is why your kids get taken.
Yeah. No, and I'm like, this is clearly, people are going to look at me and be like, oh, this is, he's taking my child. And I'm
Stranger
like,
danger.
Exactly. And I'm like, I don't, so I'm just standing far from him, making sure he doesn't.
Safe distance, like, this kid's not even, like, holding my finger, and I'm walking him around. I'm just like, hey, come on,
finally
dog.
I see a neighbor about 3 doors down walk outside to put something in their garbage can, and I yell. I'm just like, excuse me! Excuse me! And, you know, she just sort of looks and she
they
sees
freak
this.
out.
Yeah. And I'm like, do you know whose baby this is? And they just sort of look, and they start to walk forward, and they're like, oh yeah, I know whose baby that is. And so she's like, oh, thank you so much. She picks up the baby, goes to the particular house, rings the doorbell. They open it, and they're like, oh, they had no idea he was missing.
Oh my gosh!
And the lady, she's just like, yeah, you see that guy back there? He saved your kid. And I'm just like, all right, I'll get in my car and drive over here.
Yeah. Wow. That is... That's a story.
Yeah.
That is a story.
So I know that, like... So, for those that might not know, this is Utah, and there's lots of Mormons here, and they have... This week is... I was even thinking this as I was driving over here. This week is the first Sunday, so it's going to be fast and testimony meeting. So I know that someone is going to go up and say... There was such a nice giant man with a giant scraggly beard and curly hair, and he
giant heart.
Yeah, just
that
standing
saved
there,
my ass as a parent.
I thought where you're going with that is, for those of you who don't know, in Utah they're Mormons, and Mormons have like 12 kids each, so it's
true.
Pretty common.
So they just don't know where
they are. You just lose one every now and then. It's okay. You got 12 more.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So it was like a few houses away. Like, so from where the kid crossed the street, was their house on the same side of the road?
So the house he had actually come from was pretty close to where I was. The neighbor was further on. So it was, but that neighbor knew whose child it was.
I'm just wondering how far the kid got from his house before.
He had gone across 1 yard and then across the street.
And you saw him when he went across. So he didn't like go across the street once to the other side. No. And then, oh my gosh.
But he was walking as if he knew where he was going. He was just
a man on a mission.
Yeah, he was just this is what I normally do. I just walk across the street, and as I'm looking at him, you know, he's just looking at me being like, "Are you going to carry me now? This is what people do." Yeah.
You gotta pick me up. You're like, nope.
Yeah. Absolutely not.
I have a stick. I'm gonna poke you along and come on, let's go. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, for everyone.
John.
Turned out okay.
Yeah.
John. Hashtag toddler savior.
Savior.
Oh boy. Walker, shut up. Dog's barking.
Is that the dog that I shared spaghetti with, or the other one?
Yeah, the one you shared spaghetti with is that one. Thanks for saving the kid.
Yeah.
All right. The next part of what we're going to do is, this is one of my Christmas presents I got myself. I am a big Shakespeare nerd. I love Shakespeare. It's the most nerdy, pretentious thing about me.
Have you read the Timon of Athens yet?
Timon of Athens.
Yeah, it's one of Shakespeare's plays. It's in there.
No, I'll probably.
It is
somewhat
terrible.
not one of his better works. So, what we're gonna do is Shakespeare wrote a lot of sonnets.
Yes.
He wrote a lot of sonnets, and the nice thing about sonnets is there's a very specific pattern to it. There's a rhyme scheme and iambic pentameter and everything like that. But you learn it goes A B A B C D C D E F E F G G at the end, and the couplet tells you everything that the sonnet was about. So what I want to do is I want to find some random sonnets, and I'm going to assign accents to y'all two. And I want you to do the accents while reading that Shakespeare sonnet in the best manner possible. And you know what? I might throw an emotion in there as well that you have to read as the Shakespeare sonnet. Let's see. I'm going to just pick a random one. Let's go with sonnet 37.
Ah, yes.
John, I want you to do 37.
Okay.
I'm going to give that to you. You know how to read Roman numerals, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right, 37. And I want you to do it in... Ooh, let's do Minnesotan accent. Midwest. No, because that's where you're from.
I know.
Okay. Fargo, North Dakota.
Yeah, no,
Fargo,
go ahead.
North Dakota.
Just
Okay.
go into it.
As a decrepit father takes delight to see his active child do deeds of youth, so I, made lame by fortune's dearest spite, take all my comfort of thy worth and truth. For whether beauty, birth, or wealth, or wit, or any of these all, or all or more, entitled in thy parts do crowded sit,
God, no.
I make my love...
I
I make my love engrafted to the store, so then I am not lame, poor, nor despised, whilst that this shadow doth such substance give, that I in thy abundance am sufficed, and by a part of all thy glory live. Look what is best, that best I wish in thee. This wish I have, then 10 times happy me.
Yep, that was terrible.
Uh-huh.
That was awful. Very, very good attempt, though. Very good attempt. Let us. If you're from Minnesota, we're very sorry that John can't.
I can only do.
Dude, I'm totally joking. I'm totally joking.
I'll be worse. Don't
All
worry.
right. So he did 37.
Yeah.
You do this one. Do 31. Do sonnet 31, and do it in. Oh, what accent should we make her do?
Russian.
Yeah, do it in Russian, and you have to do it as a depressed Russian. No, that's too easy. Russians are depressed. Yeah. You have to do it as a happy Russian.
Okay. Mother Russia, thy bosom is endeared with all hearts. That's, I don't know if that's it.
Yeah.
Which I by lacking have supposed dead. And their regis love and all love's loving parts, and all those French which I thought buried. How many a holy obsequious tear. This is just me more of a challenge of me being able to read words. Hath dear religious love stolen from mine eye, as interest of dead which now appear, but things removed that hidden in thee lie. Thou art the grave where buried love.
Russian, not Scottish.
I'm the trophies of my lovers gone. Who all their parts of me to thee did give, that due of many now is thine alone. Their images I loved, I view in thee, and thou all they hast all of me.
That was equally as rough as John's.
It's like Transylvanian, sometimes maybe Russian, but mostly Scottish.
Yep.
Oh,
It can do Minnesotan.
Yep. That's why I didn't give it to you.
Yeah, I can do Boston because
Boston.
I understand the letter trans.
Coffee in the habit.
Just a speech impediment for a whole state.
Let's do this one. John, you do 122. Sonnet 122. And Hannah, you get to pick his accent now.
Oh yeah. What's like one that I couldn't? Ooh, like Cockney.
Ooh, Cockney.
All right, now.
Oh wait, give him an emotion. An emotion. He's got to be a.
Shy Cockney.
Yeah, there we go. A shy Cockney person.
All right. Got that. Thy gift, thy tables all within my brain.
This is a cold read. They've never done this.
Full charactered with lasting memory, which shall above that. Now I'm just going into.
No, stick it. Landon.
Which shall above that idle rank remain, beyond all date, even to eternity. For at least so long as brain and heart have faculty by nature to subsist. Till each to raised oblivion yield his part, of thee thy record never can be missed. That poor retention could not so much hold, nor need I tallies thy dear love to score. Therefore, to give them from me I was bold, to trust those tables that receive thee more, to keep an adjunct to remember thee were too important forgetfulness in me.
You're like Barney, the friendly dinosaur. That was.
But he did it with so much confidence that I believed him.
Yeah.
That's what they talk
Guys,
about.
that was the perfect shy Cockney. That was the most perfect shy Cockney that I've ever seen.
Who's the guy from The Ghost and Mrs. Chicken and I'll have to look him up.
Ghost and Miss. All right. Hannah gets another one. Let's do. Yeah, let's just pick another one. All right, let's turn the page and let's see. What's this one? 100 and what's L? I think L's 50. 100 and I can't read that Roman numeral. So let's go back a couple pages. Oh, dang it. More L's. Oh, they're all L's. I forget what L stands for. I feel like it's 50, but I don't know.
I feel like I was being Don Knotts.
Don Knotts? No. Okay, do this one. Do sonnet 14.
14.
Okay.
How?
Accent.
I'm just gonna read it. Not from the start.
No.
Australian.
Australian. A scared Australian.
I can't.
A scared Australian. All right.
Australian.
Go for it.
Not from the stars do I my judgment pluck, and yet methinks I have astronomy, but not to tell of the good or evil luck of plagues or darts or seasons quality, nor can I fortune to brief minutes tell, pointing to each his thunder, rain, and wind. I'm not doing it anymore.
Australian.
Or say with princes it shall go well.
Crikey.
By oft predict that I in heaven find, but from thine eye mine eyes acknowledge I derive. And constantly stars in them I read such art as truth and beauty shall together thrive. I from thyself
Crikey.
store thy woods convert, or else
I'm
of
scared.
thee, this I prognosticate. Thy end is truth, thy beauty's doom and date.
And Hannah, what did you think that sonnet was about?
Oh gosh. A barbecue.
A barbecue? Where did it say Where was barbecue?
You have to read it through the lens
Oh,
of the
the
reader.
subtext.
You know?
I gotcha.
I have no clue. Legs
I feel like it was about
joke.
two lovers out at night looking at the stars.
Yeah, they were doting.
I just was trying to say words.
Oh, they said
right.
date. Doom and date.
Doom and date.
Yeah, I've spent a decent amount of time in Shakespeare. I've seen a bunch of plays at the Globe in
Cedar
London.
City? In London. Ah.
Cedar City.
Cedar City has a replica.
Oh.
They have a replica. Actually, I don't know if they still have that anymore.
The best Romeo and Juliet I ever saw was in Stratford-upon-Avon at Shakespeare's birthplace.
All right.
Cool.
All right, you guys can throw me under the bus.
Oh, great.
Yeah, but you're good at accents.
I could have done Indian or Jamaican.
But where's the fun in that?
Done Southern.
You guys can give me. You can give me an
Californian.
accent with a speech impediment and an emotion.
Okay. No. Here we go.
Wait.
No, I got it.
I want to do it.
You want to consult with each other?
Oh, so a mix of Elmer Fudd and a lisp.
Elmo Fudd with a lisp.
but like also like the steady lisp.
That kind of
That
lisp.
lisp.
Oh.
I can
Elmer
do
Fudd.
Elmer Fudd with a lisp, so I can prove that it'll happen after.
Okay.
You.
So Elmer Fudd with a lisp.
Just anytime there's an S in there, you got to do that.
Okay. You guys pick the sonnet.
Okay.
So we know there's no cheating.
This one.
That one? Okay. It's like 136 or something. Okay.
Yes, 136.
Oh, hunting wabbits. Oh, what? If thy soul check thee that I come so near, swear to thy blind soul that I wish I will, and will thy soul know is admitted there. Thus far, oh love, my love shoot, sweet, fulfill. I fill it. Forward with wills, and my will one in things of great receipt. With ease we prove among a number is reckoned none. Then in number let me pass untold, though in thy Lord's account I one must be, for nothing hold me, so it please thee hold, that nothing me something sweet to thee. Make but my names I love, and love that still, and when thou lovest me, for my name is Elmo Fudd. It says Will, but Elmo Fudd. All right.
Very good job.
If thy soul check thee that I come so near, swear to thy blind soul that I was thy will, and will thy soul know, then is admitted thou. Thus far for love, my love suit sweet fulfill.
Now watch this.
That was the other list.
I'm gonna get the other part of your list, right?
If thy soul check thee that I come so near, swear to thy build soul that I wish thy will. And will thy soul know is admitted there, thus far for love myself suit sweet to fill.
Thanks for spitting all over my book, Hannah.
You have Hannah DNA forever etched into your book.
Yay!
His Christmas present.
Girls, my Christmas.
How do you do accents? How do you do accents?
How do I do accents?
Yeah.
Do you like watch YouTube videos? Like, did you like learn? Like, I've tried.
No, I mimic the other people I've heard do it. Like, if I've never heard the accent before, there's no way I can do it. Mm-hmm. It's just like an auditory thing. It's like people with perfect pitch. It's like if I hear the voice, like I can focus on mimicking that. But so like with Apu's my base for Indian accents. Yep. Just because of the way like I heard it, like I don't understand the letters thing, but I know when to do it. Like it just, I don't know, because I heard it enough. The same thing with Russian too. Like who was my Russian? Goldeneye, Natasha from Russia. Like that was my Russian base for it.
Do you want to hear the biggest generation gap thing? So yours is Apu, right? For Indian. Mine is Baljeet from Phineas and Ferb. That's what I think.
There's an Indian guy?
Yeah, he's like their cute little Indian friend.
Oh boy, this is going to be wonderful. I'm so excited to be with my friends today.
Yeah, I have to. It's the letters. With Boston, I can do it because it's everything that's ER you just replace with AH, and everything that's A you replace with ER.
Yeah. With Boston,
it's like doing math while you talk, though.
It's the only way I can process it. So it's like, go park the car in the garage, because I know that when I'm saying those letters, car is ka.
Cat.
Park.
I got coffee in the harbor.
I got my lobster.
I threw the Boston tea in the Boston harbor. I ate some goldfish with some Pepperidge Farms.
But then I got a banana. No,
Banana?
every word that they have that ends with an A, they replace it with an ER.
In Louisiana, so this is a very small place that does it. All right. Like, they all have these different dialects broken up apart from there. In Louisiana, above Lake Pontchartrain, kind of like from Baton Rouge over, like in that whole area, their CRs are TRs and their TRs are CRs. I like to read my scriptures. I like to eat strawberries. We are going to go play football and scrimmage that other team.
That's so strange.
It was so weird. But that's the only place. It's like that thin little line right there. It's the only place that does it.
If you ever get that suggestion for changing
Strawberries?
styles, you're gonna get it.
Get some strawberries.
Need some... Baton Rouge. All right, I got this. I'm ready. Yeah. But, yeah. No, accents are fun. But, yeah, I have to hear other people do it. And then I just base it off those characters I know.
Yeah. I have to have like a line. Pro tip, because you saw how well I did accents. I always have to have like a line from like a movie or something that I can say in my head before. Then you can like get
A lot of people
into
have.
it.
Yeah.
But even then, for me, I have to. So who's the one that played Ricky Gervais? Him on The Office. When I hear him on the British Office, hearing him, I can do a British accent, but then I'll lose it after a couple of hours.
Hours? How long do you?
How
do
long are you doing accents
for?
for?
Well, doing that whole thing of trying to get a YouTube video and then doing the accent, and then I just can't recall it a couple of hours later.
Yeah.
Like, even when there's a particular line, I just can't... Like, I try and think of, with Scottish, trying to do the Shrek donkey. But even then, I can't...
Yeah.
Yeah.
French was the hardest one for me. It still is like a really hard one, but it wasn't until Kurt said like he gave me the really technical aspect of it. Like French is like you talk on the same level and then you go down at the end. All these it's like
Yeah, that's good.
Understanding those things is how I can process accents.
Yeah. Yeah, I do that with Scottish. Like, every phrase, like, Australian, croinky. And, like, you think to the crocodile hunter. And then Scottish is, great. Great Scots. Look at them hails. Irish was, hi, did I? Oh, what you think about that?
Hi, did I?
Hi, do a jig on your face, I will. Take that, you whopper. I don't even know if that's jargon they use.
You can always tell if I don't know it. I'll start almost looking into my own brain. Like,
I can see it somewhere. All right. A few weeks ago, I had people post their pictures on a Facebook comment. I said, comment whatever selfie or picture you want, and based on that picture alone, I will cast you in a fake movie. Based solely on that picture. Looks alone, know nothing about the person for the most part, but only from information we see on the picture, we'll cast them in a movie. We have to come up with a title, a brief synopsis for it, and then we move on to the next person.
Do we make up a movie?
Yeah, you can make it up. It could be a remake if you think someone fits another part. It can be anything you want. This is fake movie casting. The third one. The third. Number 3. All right. I have the pictures pulled up here.
Okay.
So let me pull this over here. This is a really small picture on here.
Yeah.
But this is Connie. Mm-hmm. Connie's a comedy sports person.
She is definitely...
Yeah, she's in L.A., I think. Or, I don't know. I think she's in one of the California ones.
I believe.
She's definitely in a Darren Aronofsky film, I can tell you that much.
All right. So let's see. We got like these. Are those plants? What are those?
Brooms.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
They're not brooms.
They look.
I think the end of a witch's broom.
Yeah, it kind of does. It looks like it's tied up or something.
Yeah.
Or umbrellas that go over tables.
Yeah. So okay. So she's wearing all black. She got the black lipstick, some bangs, and a beanie. Got this one light stream. It looks like she's outside. Yeah. So the umbrellas are all there, and like we riff the ideas. We can go back and forth and just.
So
what's your knee-jerk reaction when you look at this?
I have 2 ideas, 2 knee-jerk reactions. First is probably because I watched Bring It On last night. Is that she is the Eliza Dushku character where she comes into, she doesn't want to be one of the popular kids, but then she'll have the movie transformation type of thing in a high school drama kind of a thing.
Okay.
She's really into her emo stuff. The other one that I'm thinking of is just going more that she's a misunderstood American in a Chinese film.
What's your knee-jerk reaction, Hannah?
She looks like she could play the girl in Mean Girls. What's her name? The one with dark
Lindsay
hair.
Lohan? Oh, dark hair?
No,
I don't know.
the friend, the one who...
Yeah, she's definitely the secondary character. She's the second main character.
Yeah.
So, maybe this is like... so maybe this is like a first-person perspective movie. So, she is... I don't know. These things are like lit up red and everything. So, like, when she's looking at it, she's actually looking at the main character of the movie right now. And so, she's like leading him somewhere. So,
she's the friend that... the main character has a whole bunch of friends that are all very similar to the main character. And she is the friend that the rest of the friends don't get why the main character is friends with her.
She's like the friend that you were friends with in elementary school, but you both grew up and became different.
Right.
But you had
Are
to
they
stay
still friends?
They're still
Yes.
friends.
Okay.
And, like, she still is like, hey, come join us. And, she's just like, no, I'll just go home and listen to The Cure. And
sacrifice a cat.
Okay.
I don't want anything to do with this. Let me be alone with my umbrellas.
They got to be the star in the movie, though.
Oh, okay.
They got to be the star. They can't be the side character.
Well, that changes everything.
So I feel like this is some sort of drama, like business is closed and everything, and she's like, let me show you a new world. And like those tied up umbrellas are the portal. Like you walk through it and...
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
You know what? Yeah. So what the start of the movie could actually be is that she starts like coming out of an institution. So she starts coming...
mental institution?
But, she says that, she was put there because people kept saying that this magic world that she kept telling people about was fiction or fantasy and that she must be messed up. And so she starts there, is able to get out, able to find someone to bring them into this magical world, to show them that it actually does exist and that she's not crazy.
Okay.
It's like a found footage thing, and she's walking around and showing it, right?
Yeah, found footage.
It's like, this is how you find it. And she's like documenting, like, this is where you go, it's what you do. Well, okay, so what's it called then? What's the title of this movie?
I feel like she's the manager of a Walmart. That's like what job she could get after coming out of the mental hospital.
I see a barista.
That could actually be really... After getting out of the mental institution, she sets up shop in a Walmart. Like the Walmart is the only way to get into it.
Because it's in the floral section.
Yeah. It's in the floral section. That's the only way.
Yeah.
It's just called Wally World.
Wally World.
Wally's World.
Wally's World.
Yeah.
And Wally was her imaginary friend.
And so
that
they
showed
go
her the new world.
into the world, and it's the cartoon version of Walmart.
Yeah, it's the cartoon version of reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So very like Who Framed Roger Rabbit type of movie.
Yes. There we
Where
go.
It's Toontown, but it's the Walmart of Toontown.
Wally's World.
I love it.
Whoa. There we go. All right. Corey R.
Corey definitely played football in high school.
Oh no, this is an infomercial right here. He's about to tell us about Scrub and Clean.
But only because his whole small town thought he would make it big in football, and he didn't. And so now he has to do infomercials.
No, his dream was never to play football. His dream
was
was to
his
be an
dad's
infomercial.
dream.
Yeah. Was to be the best
be my own
infomercial
man.
salesman.
And he is the best football player, and he hates it.
He hates it.
But he hates it, yeah.
Everyone
dad will
is
never understand.
continuing to be like trying to get him into the NFL. He's first round draft pick. He is the best player, and
Maybe
he
a late
hates it.
first round draft pick.
Okay,
Let's not go crazy. Yeah. He always he wants to be the best infomercial salesman,
Who
and
was
so he's
the-
pursuing acting.
Who was that guy
like
with
that.
the big the
Billy
beard?
Mays.
Billy Mays was his idol.
He had posters of Billy Mays
Yes.
in his bedroom.
Yeah, when he comes into his room, you see Billy Mays posters. He has whatever the product was.
Billy Mays' ghost comes to guide him.
Ghost.
Billy Mays comes back to be his spirit guide.
They have a ghost scene of instead of the
Instead of
pot.
pottery making,
Yeah.
Billy Mays is, you gotta point like this, and he's taking his hand and he's doing this and making it.
Oh.
The return of Billy Mays.
The
That's
infomercial version of Ghost.
Corey and my Billy Mays. Oh, Billy Mays, my spirit guide. That's the movie. Billy Mays, my spirit guide.
Yes.
All right, knee-jerk reaction. What's the first thing you thought of? Go.
Douche.
Yeah. I also thought
Dallin.
This is a very douchey photo. Though.
Just so you know, we know nothing about these people.
Yeah, I don't
So sorry,
We know
Alan.
absolutely
I'm sure
nothing.
you're so down to earth.
We're
Yeah.
going based off these pictures alone, what we see.
I think he's wearing a rented tux in this picture.
Uh-huh.
This is screaming.
He's standing in, like, maybe a driveway, that looks like mud, water in the background there.
This is feeling very American Psycho to me.
Oh, we have to make note that he's married, though.
He is married.
Oh, okay. That gets rid of the American Psycho vibe.
Or not. Maybe it's a rouge and no one knows. Because no one's ever met his wife, and he just wears it as a cover.
It's just fake.
Goes to different board meetings, flies across the country, tries to schmooze, goes to parties. Very Wolf of Wall Street almost.
Okay.
I don't know. It doesn't look like that high class of a picture, though.
No, it's a selfie.
Like, I get that, because it's but, like, it feels like a... I mean, look at where
Wolf
he
of
is.
Wall Street mixes with Vivint.
Yeah, I mean,
He's
that's...
the best salesman in all of Orem.
He's the best damn salesman ever, guys. Maybe, like... I don't know.
What
So
if
it's a
this is
rented
the-
tux.
The Vivint sequel to I Was Born in Beehive, the Mormon film. So this is like a Mormon.
What's that called?
This
Once
is,
Upon a Beehive?
or I
Is
want to
that
say
right?
that this is like
Once I was a beehive.
Once I was a, I don't know.
this
I don't
guy
watch-
is the main character in Singles Ward 5.
I don't know.
I'm having a hard time with Dallin.
He looks... It could be like borderline... Oh, okay, what about this? He's like a super senior. He's in his third senior year of high school.
Okay.
But it's his last chance before his parents kick him out. Tell him to get on with his life.
Yes.
And so he's going to his senior prom.
Okay.
But secretly, he's already graduated, and he's still just going to high school because he's doing money-making schemes. Doing multi-level marketing of high school students.
MLM. He's turning high school students into MLM marketers.
This reminds me of my little brother. He has like this whole like business that he's made. He's like a junior in high school, and he sells suckers, and he calls them crack suckers.
Yep.
And he like
What?
sells them for like way more than he buys them for. And he has
Yep.
like I think salespeople, and he just like rakes in all this
Oh
money.
my gosh.
And it's like, I think it's super against the rules. I don't
Yeah.
think you're supposed to sell things in school, but everyone loves these crack suckers, so you can still sell them.
Oh my gosh.
So it's just the story of my little brother, as told by Dallin.
All right. Yep.
Yeah, that's the one.
Everything she described.
Yep.
Crack sucker.
Crack
That's-
sucker.
Crack sucker.
And then there's a little neo-noir thrown in at some point.
Yeah.
Danny Stocking. Yeah, I said that right. Danny Stocking.
I like
Okay.
her tattoo.
What is that?
It's just
It's
an
ink blot.
splatter of
Okay.
ink. Oh, like a psych ink blot?
Oh, well, yeah, it's just a splattered ink.
Got
okay.
the blue, pink.
Blue and pink hair.
Looks like she's going to some party. Mm-hmm. Some
Fancy dress.
night, but like black and red. So anytime I see black and red together
Vampire.
on that,
Vampire?
like, I think vampire
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, she's got a bit of a vampire vibe. Maybe a girl that wants to become a vampire.
So just Twilight.
Yeah. Not Twilight. What's another twist?
Change me, Edward.
Yeah. Maybe a unicorn. I don't know.
She wants to be a unicorn.
Yeah, she wants to be a unicorn. No.
I run with unicorns.
All right, this world is all vampires.
Okay.
And it's sort of I Am Legendy with, like, where humans are the rare species.
Okay.
And so she wants to become a human. She wants to become the unicorn of vampires, to revert from her vampire form and be able to be among the living.
So kind of like that one movie with Ethan Hawke. What was it? Daybreaker? No.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know this movie.
There was a movie where Ethan Hawke, where the world was what you described.
Oh, really?
And he figured out a way how to turn back into a human. But, no, I kind of like that. So if she's a vampire, she's trying to figure out how to be human again.
Yeah.
So she's caught in this, like, vampire, like, murderous world. And she's like, no, I want to be good.
And her ink blot tattoo is, like, you're supposed to look at it and, like, what you see means something about you. She, like... What did she see? Like a human. She saw a human in it, so she got it tattooed onto herself to show that she was meant to be a human.
Or maybe it's the instructions that she had tattooed on herself, but she uses a Sharpie to cover it up so that she never loses
prison
it.
break on this.
Yeah.
Sure.
So what would you call it then?
Oh man.
Vampire Lives.
Vamp woman.
Vampire blood.
Vampire. Vampire, but it's like U-R-E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
E-U-R-E. Vampire.
Girl who wants to be a vampire who wants to be human.
A normal
Vampire.
girl. Sure.
Vampire. Darby.
She looks like the same girl just without makeup and dyed hair.
Really?
Maybe.
You think so? No. You crazy. How can you even get close to calling
for white people?
Yeah.
So Hannah can't do accents, and she can't identify who these... No. Darby.
Okay, Darby's very soft.
She's a U of U student.
Oh.
Oh, she at UVU?
Way to pick out those details.
Oh, okay.
But she's wearing a blue scarf.
Ooh.
So she's torn in her...
She's a rebellious BYU student that...
Maybe she's at U of U to like...
No.
To prank them, to...
Right. So what she wants to do is she feels that the BYU U of U rivalry hasn't been crazy enough.
Wants to add some...
So she wants to start drama, making a bit more drama to the entire rivalry. Bring it up a notch.
Okay. Let me raise the stake a little bit more.
Okay.
So she is like... She's gone back to school now, and she feels like she missed out on this whole part of her life.
Yes.
So she wants to amp up and do all these crazy college things. So what does she come up with? Let's start a school war.
Yes.
School wars. And like...
I feel like she has children, though, and she's going to bring her children into these...
Yeah, her kids help her.
Oh, yeah.
Because they look so innocent and cute.
Fill a whole bunch of balloons with blue paint and just start throwing them everywhere.
Yeah, and then her kids go and do the other school, and then they just start this big old school war. But why is she doing it, though? Why start a school war? So she feels like she missed out on something, so she starts a school war. What's the resolution behind that, though? Why would we root for her to do that? Maybe it's her like trying to learn how to have fun.
Yeah.
And then her kids jump in and they have a family bonding experience.
Oh, so it's like a heartwarming family movie.
Yeah,
Heartwarming
this is definitely
family
a
thing.
Hallmark movie. So it doesn't... The
But it's
pranks
still
don't get
fun.
too crazy.
Still, comedy sports.
Or they
friendly.
do. They could release a cougar on one
Oh,
campus.
yeah.
And a cougar's so bad.
Wait, what's U of U's mascot?
Utes.
The Utes, so they release a
Release
bunch
a
of
fake
Native
Ute.
Americans. I feel like both of those would be terrible. Like,
And then UVU wants to get
it's a
involved, so
time
they
travel
release some
machine,
Wolverines.
and they're dropped in there, and they're just
they're like
like, what's going on? And everyone's like, what?
Did we name it?
Oh, no, we didn't name it. What do we name? School War?
School War. BYU are going down.
BYU.
Cougar.
are
Oh wait,
going.
but she's like she's a mom, right? She could be a cougar. We could play on that.
Ooh. Oh, that added a whole different aspect to it.
Burgeoning rivalry.
Okay, forget School Wars.
Okay.
All right, she's a
Scrap it
cougar
all.
on the prowl. She's from BYU, but the person she's cougaring goes to U.
Is
U of
it a
U.
verb now?
Yeah.
I'm gonna cougar you.
The person she's cougaring, the person that like she fell in love with, is a professor at the other campus.
Okay.
And so now, like, she's the student, and, like, it's, like, an awkward relationship, but they're both the same age. And, like, it's super cute, but it's like, no, it can't break the rules, guys. Can't do that, because that's wrong. But it makes it so right.
It feels so wrong. It feels so right.
So we'll call it cougaring.
Cougaring, the verb.
University of Cougar.
Cougar University.
Yeah,
Cougar University. All right. This is a kid,
Kid actor.
and they've sent this picture so many times, and I'm like,
Wait,
what?
really?
Yeah.
They just really wanted to get his face out there.
Yeah, I did it for like an audition too, but like they posted a picture and it was like for an adult part.
Oh.
And I'm like, did I post it was for a kid? And then it was just this picture gets put everywhere, I feel.
And his
I don't even know how to say the name. Danae Dennis?
Danae Dennis is French. Danae Dennis.
When I look at this kid, I feel like it's like Mark Zuckerberg's kid. Like, just the kid of like a super wealthy tech giant.
Oh no, see, I see a super independent film, very like weirdly science fiction, but you don't know it's a science fiction film until like an hour into the film.
Okay.
Which is all
This
of a
sounds
sudden there are
terrible.
robots.
This sounds like a
what?
terrible
This is the
movie.
type of movie that you would only see at Sundance, and nobody picks it up, and eventually it comes onto Netflix, and only a bunch of really big film buffs are into it. And there's a lot of really weird soundscapes in the film, and it's all about like how he can transport his thoughts because of how his
How
eyes work.
intense he's looking at us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it sort of starts very mild-mannered, you don't really know, and then weird things start happening, and you don't realize it's because of him. Oh. It's because of the way that he can look at things and bend them with his mind.
Okay, so a little bit like the movie
Like,
Fourth Kind.
I was
Like,
thinking
yeah.
Matilda.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, Matilda works too.
But much more of an independent Matilda, one that
A very
where
avant-garde
the-
Matilda.
where the filmmaker wants to create some sort of big speech.
What do you
type
call
of
it?
A point.
Child Psyche?
You don't want to give away,
Id.
because I'm thinking of like this is the sequel to the movie Upstream Color, and so it's very like it's a I'm going into my Sundance repertoire.
This is just let John take this one.
All right, John,
So
what do you
this-
name this? What do you call it?
This is called just simply Turquoise.
All that explanation
Yep.
for turquoise.
Turquoise.
Turquoise. There you go,
Alright,
Danae. All right. This will be the last one.
Okay.
All right.
Cute
Destiny.
brunette on a beach with flowers.
I feel like
They're sort of wilted flowers, aren't they?
it's like a salt flats or
Is it? It looks like a beach at low tide.
or Saltaire or something. Yeah, beach at low tide, that kind of thing. So I don't know. It's not a very like colorful picture,
Yeah.
so it makes me
Like her dress is
feels a little
dark,
bit morose.
Yeah.
Little melancholy.
I feel like
It's
she
a-
has nice arms. Like I feel like she looks strong, right?
Yeah.
She can have some biceps.
Yeah. Hannah's
like
checking
a-
out your arms, Destiny.
Hey Destiny, give me a call. She's
Maybe
like
this is the start of an action film. Like her her husband just died and she's gonna go.
She's walking away from the funeral right now, like, ready
To go kick some ass.
Assumes a new personality and identity, and
I mean, it could be something like that, like strong. I don't really see warrior though in this picture. I mean, she does.
I think you're a warrior, Dustin.
Or maybe she's the type that like
she gets
marries men.
Abandoned?
Or this is sort of a spider type of a film. The female spider. What is that? The female
Black
spider?
Widow?
Yeah, Black Widow. So sort of a Black Widow.
She killed her husband.
Yeah, she kills husbands and gets away with all of their money.
Okay.
Like,
there we go.
what's that movie where the guy thinks he's dating the girl that kills all her husbands? Funny movie.
Runaway Bride?
No. It's So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Oh, with Mike Myers.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a comedy.
Yeah.
Okay. So a little bit like Gone Girl then, but like
Yeah.
she's so Black Widow, so she seduces men and then kills them off. She's the female serial killer. Mm-hmm. This is Ted Bundy's daughter. Oh, what if that was the case? What if Ted Bundy had a kid that he didn't know about? Secret child.
Secret Bundy.
And she took on everything that Ted Bundy did. And so now, like, she's the new Ted Bundy.
Okay. Yeah.
But we got to make some way that we would still root for her.
She only we do the Dexter thing. Like, she only kills bad guys.
Yep.
Okay.
She checks out
she
the guys
checks them out,
who are like
yep.
roofing and like doing all the terrible things and
Seduces them, kills
serial
them,
kills
does
them.
it in a way that she gets away with it and ends up getting all of their money and Robin Hoods them and donates the money to their victims.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So what do we call that then? So,
Destiny's
the
Child.
kiss of
Destiny Child.
Destiny Child.
The kiss of the widow.
Ooh.
I like mine better.
Nah, 'cause it's not a widow anymore. I like Destiny Child.
Yeah.
Destiny Child.
Destiny Child.
Destiny
Daughter of
Child.
Ted.
Daughter of Ted Bundy.
No, you can't put the daughter of Ted Bundy in there. Though
They have to figure that out themselves.
It'll be sort of mysterious as to her lineage, but it's
And then they
like
reveal it
implied,
towards
you
the
can
end.
figure
Okay,
it
listen.
out.
Destiny Child. Oh, sorry, we gave away the end of the
At
movie.
the end, she's like crying at her dad's grave, and it's like,
Yeah.
I did this for you.
Does Ted Bundy have a gravesite?
I hope not. He doesn't deserve one.
no. She doesn't cry at his sight. She finds out later on that she's Ted Bundy's daughter,
doesn't
and
even
so
know.
she doesn't even know. And then she goes to his gravesite with a sledgehammer and breaks the cobblestone
Yeah.
and just.
But she has this
destroys-
internal
Okay.
conflict
Yeah.
too because he created her and she feels like she's doing good, but he's not a good guy. Yeah, so much internal conflict. Destiny Child.
Oh, her name is Destiny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why we thought it'd be funny. All right, Destiny Child. There you go. All right,
That's a cat eating a sandwich.
Yeah.
I think we can call it.
that is going to be the end of our fake movie casting. Wow, we got through.
That was
Oh
fun.
no, we got through some.
Yeah, that was
All
fun.
right, I thought we only did like 3. I was like, man, why so
We did
little?
6 or 7.
Yeah, 7.
All right. Thanks for watching Comedy Sandbox. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about it, comment. If there's something that you want to see, or if you want to be a guest on it, contact me in the comments. Do it like that because that's easier. Because the email's super, super long and it's dumb. Don't use the email.
The email. Oh, I thought you were like calling it like, don't use the email or the Facebook.
Don't use the email. The email's not good. No, it's like Comedy
Your
Sandbox
email?
Jar Productions at Gmail. It's like
Oh.
a super long email. So,
That
I mean,
makes
you
sense.
can, but because I just said it, but like, just comment. It's so much easier.
easier.
Or you can you can friend me on Facebook. The easiest person to find on Instagram. Just JR Timothy. But what about you guys? Anything you want to plug right now?
You can find me on Twitter at John F. Banks.
What do you post on Twitter?
I don't know, just stuff. If you want to see my film reviews, I am 5 films away from 2,500 films that I've seen over my lifetime.
Tell it to your fans.
And you can find it at letterboxd.com/thirdmango. And then I have a YouTube channel that will link below. Once I can get to 100 subscribers, then I can change my username. And
yeah, that's what I'm working on right now too.
yeah,
Make sure you subscribe because
Yeah.
I want to change my channel's name too.
yeah. My channel's name right now is something that a username that I did in high school, Valak Vola, and I want to change it to John Fairbanks.
Valid.
Yeah, it was just a random whatever that I did in high school that doesn't mean anything, and now it's my YouTube channel, and
You're stuck with it.
yeah, I'm stuck with it
gotcha.
until I can get to 100 subscribers and change it. So,
Yeah.
but
Help
it'll be
John, everyone.
once I'm at 100 subscribers, then it'll be youtube.com/John Fairbanks or John F Banks.
Help John after you help me first. Though.
Yes,
Always put me first.
yes.
Hannah, what about you?
Oh man, I don't have a active Twitter or YouTube. I'm at like 991 followers on Instagram. If you want to
wow.
get me to 1,000, it's Han Kirk with 2 Ks. That's HANKIRKK. That's
good. You can also
I do photography. I take engagement pictures. DM me on Instagram. I'll take your pictures.
yeah. You can also catch us at Comedy Sports on Center Street in Provo, comedysportsutah.com. That has all the information there. It's every Friday and Saturday, 7:30 and 9:30 p.m. Well, I said that wrong. It's every Friday and Saturday at 7:30 and 9:30 p.m. And also Thursday shows at 8 p.m. It's a lot of fun. It's improv comedy. We talked about it. We do all sorts of cool things. I think that's it. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye. Everyone wave bye.